Girl, wash your face. Stop believing the lies about who you are so you can become who you were meant to be. By Hollis. Once you understand that you are the one in control, you'll get up and try again. And you'll keep going until being in control feels more natural than being out of control. Each chapter is about the lies we are told, or the lies that we tell ourselves, and how they can change the trajectory of our lives. The author gives us glimpses into her world and explores how these lies shaped her life, and ultimately how debunking these lies can shift our thinking and improve our lives. It's an inspiring book that excites me to take charge of my own life and dedicate time to my goals. Not tomorrow or a week from now, but to make a list and put it in action right now. It compelled me to focus more energy on my dreams and forgive myself faster for missteps and failures. Recognizing the lies we've come to accept about ourselves is the key to growing into a better version of ourselves. Author Hollis. This was a self-help book and a hilariously resonating story about the ups and downs of life and the lessons we can learn if we open ourselves up. She gives us a tough love approach in a big sister bestie kind of way that makes you feel cared for. Rachel said, "If you're unhappy, that's on you." This idea was so on point. It was almost annoying at first, but like a big sister that wants the best for you, sometimes the truth hurts. This idea is so empowering because taking the blame, or better yet, taking responsibility for one's happiness or sadness, gives you permission to make changes. Stacy is super ambitious. She graduated high school and just knew she had to get out of her small town to really live and be happy. Stacy was there only a few months before she found herself seriously stressed out because of her finances, her class load, her loneliness because of her inability to socialize because she was always in class or at work. So Stacy thought to herself, college is not all it's cracked up to be. I need to finish this degree fast so I can get a good job and turn things around. When she graduated, she was so happy for what was to come next. Stacy landed a great job only 3 months out of college, and on top of that, it was a job using her degree. About a year into her job, she really started to resent all the hours she had to work. She didn't like the environment, and she started thinking this wasn't the field for her. Stacy sat back and thought long and hard about what she was really working towards and what it was all for. What she really had always wanted was a family of her own. A husband, kids, house, dog, the whole nine. So Stacy set out on a new quest. She needed to find a man, a good man, that wanted the same thing she did. Stacy fell into a relationship with a guy from work. They fell in love and got married. Stacy just knew that this would be everything that she had hoped for. But she hadn't considered having to make decisions with another person about everything. Who paid for what? The cooking, cleaning, in-laws, sicknesses, disagreements, layoff, kids. Stacy would never be happy no matter how much she got because Stacy is always looking at the next thing in front of her. Instead of focusing on what an accomplishment graduation is or how fun it is to be planning a wedding, Stacy's always looking at the next thing that she hasn't gotten. And this is the theme of the first big idea. Something else will make me happy. For so many of us, in a society that values overachieving and success that is determined by financial gain, the rat race, the pursuit of happiness, has become a way of life. Contentment is quickly fleeting, disappointment is ever present, and we are moving so fast that we barely have a chance to soak in a moment of gratitude. Just like Stacy, many of us have so many goals and checkboxes that we don't give ourselves time to dwell on our small victories. It is very important for us to be intentional with our time, but we should be focused not only on our future goals, but our current successes as well. Rachel writes, "You must choose to be happy, grateful, and fulfilled. If you make that choice every single day, regardless of where you are or what's happening, you will be happy." In the book, Girl, Wash Your Face, the author suggests some things that helped her, which has also helped me. I stopped comparing myself. And I know this is something that seems almost impossible, but it really is. It takes conscious effort, but it's definitely something we can master. And it's not just about comparing ourselves to other people in our age group or social circles or people on Instagram, but it's also about comparing ourselves to who we think we were supposed to be. We are who we are right now. There's nothing wrong with wanting to improve yourself or work towards a goal, but constantly comparing yourself in real life to the fantasy you had for yourself is debilitating and it's not helpful to your happiness. Number 2, I surround myself with positivity. And I know you guys are thinking it's super cheesy, but this is fact on facts. We are what we consume. We spend hours a day on social media filling our minds with images of other people's perfect lives and perfect bodies, or if we spend our time consuming news where life is often unfair, people are being murdered, there's always chaos, that's how we're going to feel. It's not about being oblivious to what's going on around us. Yes, there's tragedy every day, that's a fact. We don't need it on a media loop. Surround yourself with good vibes, meditate, read a good book, eat nourishing, healthy food, be around people that make you happy, find out how they are and let them know how you're doing. Don't follow people that make you feel like crap. I know this is something that I've struggled with in the past, and I've had to go through and unfollow people. There may be people that you knew in high school or college, or Instagram accounts that just make you feel like crap. Like you living a regular life is just not good enough. And some people may say that's jealousy, but I really don't think so. I think it's about self-preservation. It's about reality from fantasy. We shouldn't go around consuming fantasy ideals all day because, be honest, how is that benefiting us? Yes, her body is popping. Yes, he travels to amazing places, but is staring at her Instagram adding to your life? No. Unfollow. Number 3, I figured out what makes me happy and I do those things. This may seem like a no-brainer, but really sit with this for a second. Like, what makes you happy? We spend so much of our time and quote-unquote downtime scrolling our timelines or checking emails or doing little tasks like reading an article on Facebook that may or may not be fake news, but like really, what makes us happy? Does that really make you happy when you spend 45 minutes scrolling Instagram? Research has shown that it really doesn't for most people. It makes you feel more like crap. There's actually a TED Talk about it. Anyways, think about what kinds of things make you happy, what kind of things you like to do. And if you can't think of it, make a list of some things you'd like to try. Push yourself to explore. In addition to the dog and the kids, the boyfriend or the husband, what makes you happy? And then do those things. And then don't stop doing those things. Make time for those things because you're worth it. Okay, breakfast, post office to drop off a package, call mom on the way home from work, doctor's appointment, on lunch, check my voice messages from last Friday. I put the chicken out to defrost, getting the 20-minute workout, check on Stacy. Haven't heard from her in about a week. Work on my website after dinner. Maybe I'll just catch a few minutes with Babe. We haven't finished season 2. I'm exhausted. I'll start the website layout tomorrow. Does this sound familiar? Even a little? I'll start tomorrow is the next big idea that really resonated with me. I am the queen of making to-do lists, and yes, I love a good line through a task, but I'm also the queen of writing the same thing on pages day after day, procrastinating their completion. This really spoke to my heart because it is something that we all do as daughters, sisters, friends, students, mothers, women, people. It's about putting things off and how damaging it can be to our lives and our sense of self. She really spoke a lot about breaking promises to ourselves and how to hold ourselves accountable to ourselves, because if we continue to make lots and lots of plans and lots of promises to everyone else, and we continue to put off our own desires, our own needs until the end, they'll never come around, and we won't live a very fulfilling life. It's about putting yourself first in the most meaningful, thoughtful, unselfish way. It's about putting on your life vest and putting on your air mask before you put on the life vest of the person sitting next to you. Because someone drowning can't save someone drowning. It's about being honest with what you can do and about not overcommitting yourself and making commitments that you don't want to be a part of out of guilt or feelings of obligations, whatever. Because ultimately, that will take away from your life. These are the author's things that helped me. Starting with one small goal. It's much easier to add a habit than to take one away. This is so true. Like, it's much easier for me to say, I'll start drinking more water, or I'm going to start going to do some lunges or do some crunches. It's a lot harder for me to say that I'm going to stop eating this or that. It's just the way that our brains are wired. We are always going to be more receptive to a positive than a negative. You'll always be more receptive to someone saying, hey, would you like to go for a walk? Instead of someone saying, stop sitting around. They may have the same intentions. They don't want to see you sitting around being lazy, moping, depressed, whatever. But their delivery is completely different. Number 2, being careful with my commitments. Oh my goodness, this is so me. And it kind of ties in with the first big idea. I am the queen of overcommitting to things. It's almost like there's a trigger in the back of my throat. As soon as someone asks me for something, usually time, my usual response is, sure. I don't even think about what else I had planned or if I have time to do it. I really don't even give it a second thought. But more and more now, I'm starting to realize that yes or sure might be the worst thing I can do for someone. And sometimes it might be the worst thing I could do for myself. Overcommitting yourself is like the surefire way to stress, because you can't be everything for everyone and still be taking good care of yourself. It's impossible. You're Superwoman, but even Superwoman needs balance. Number 3, being honest with myself. Be honest with yourself about what you're blowing off. This used to be me all the time. I would commit to something and then the time would come to do it, and I would make every excuse in the book not to do it or not to go. Do this a few times and it starts becoming a habit. And you really will turn around and be like, oh my goodness, how many things have I blown off this week or this month? How many things did I tell somebody that I was going to be at or I was going to help with, and at the last minute I found every reason not to go? It just makes you a flaky person. And not just to other people, but to yourself. Try setting boundaries with yourself and others. If you're going to go, then go. But if you don't know if you want to go, then don't say yes. Say, I'll think about it, or I'll let you know. Hesitate for a minute before you commit to something, and make sure it's something you really want to give your time and attention to. It is a struggle, because in the moment you want everyone to feel accepted and loved and wanted, and like you want to be a part of their lives. But in the same hand, you can't be everything for everyone, and you will fail if you try. And that's what I'm really learning. Rachel Hollis said, "You are in charge of your own life, sister, and there's not one thing in it that you're not allowed to be there." It was really a book that made you think about what type of woman you are, what type of woman you want to be, and setting a real plan in place of steps you need to get there. This was a book review for Girl Wash Your Face by Rachel Hollis. If you like this review, please share and subscribe. If you would like more like this, please leave a comment below and let me know what type of books you'd like me to review next. Thank you so much. Remember to take care of yourself so you can take care of those you love. Bye.